Много весело.
Yeah. See, that's all. And the more
Yeah, different man.
To run an appraisal at the very beginning to find out what your house system looks like at the moment, and just structure, and then we'll take away that.
Here he is. You got your Friday night sorted out. I'm doing my.
Alright, a famous 1994 movie had Vincent and Mia eat at a 1950s themed diner called Jack. Wilson, Pulp Fiction is correct. Well done. You can go to the next slide. Whoa, they're not very aerodynamic, are they? Okay, quickly, someone will get this one. And. Whoa. Yeah, but there was another one. See? Two televisions. Better Call. So you got Better Call Saul, and someone else is back or Breaking Bad. So I'll give it to you just because that was the hard bit. Okay. And the last question, before everyone comes back in and hit the bells in. This is the most expensive burger ever sold. The Golden Boy. How much does it sell for in US dollars? It's got A5 Wagyu beef, king crab loop, your caviar, paleta iberico, bellota ham, truffles. Look at that, golden covered bun. That is legit. What did it go for in US dollars? 3, I've got 1,000 over here, 1,000 over here, looking for something higher than 1,000. We're at 10,000, a little bit lower than 10,000, 10,000 a bit too high. How much? No, not 7,000. 2.5, no. Not 5,000. Who said that? 6,000 is correct. You win the old burger. I wouldn't be going for this pulled burger out of nowhere. I should have thought about that. But instead, you get some teeth on wheels fairy things. Yes. Heart attack, it is heart attack. Look at that. Yeah, hit the next slide. I think the $6,000 suddenly appears. Boom. There it is, look at that. Goodness me. There you go. Well, congratulations to all of you very smart people. How are we going for time? Oh, we nearly there. We've got about a minute to go. What else do I want to tell you? Has everyone checked out of their hotel rooms? Everyone's checked out? Yeah, you remember the minibar? Isn't that still the weirdest thing when they say to you, did you use the minibar? I mean, yeah, maybe. Most of it. Here we go. Welcome, sir. Excellent. All right, so I need to make sure that our speakers are in the room. I think they probably are. Do we have Angela, Neil, and Jason in the room? Yes, we do. Wonderful. No, not yet. Works across Australia as a member of the Australian Primary Principals Association, the Australian Government Primary Principals Association, and also has a strong relationship with our colleagues in New Zealand. And these relationships also extend internationally through their participation in the International Confederation of Principals. You'll be hearing shortly from Angela Falkenberg and also Jason Miles and Neil Smith. They'll be sharing information and also promoting the International Confederation of Principals Conference that will be held in Auckland, New Zealand in September 2026. And this will provide an outstanding opportunity to meet and learn with colleagues from across the globe. But first of all, the APPA President, Angela Falkenberg, is going to speak to you.
So, good morning. And first of all, if you are in BPA, you are in APPA. Okay? So, the membership is broad, so you might really want to pay attention. Could be a quiz at the end, not sure. Is there any fairy floss left? Right, let's throw heavier things, they go further. All right. For 51 years, APPA has been built on collaboration, with leaders coming together to share, to listen and act for the good of all. It's a rare thing, and in fact, we're the only association in the world like it. Imagine if our world leaders had the same courage to set aside ego and competition and instead work for the benefit of people. Here it is, the benefit. Principals are vital to communities, and you are the glue that holds the public trust in education together. We advocate for our profession through shining a light on the real world of leadership. We meet with ministers, departments, unions, parent groups and the media to advocate for safer workplaces, less administrative overload and conditions that let principals focus on what matters most, teaching, learning and well-being. And our advocacy is more than words. We provide the evidence, data and stories so that decision makers can see the reality. It's not just in godly trust, it is all others bring data. And through this, we want to ensure that our profession and the skill, courage and vision that you bring is honoured and deserving of the respect. Together we can make things better. In 2026, we will launch Start Well, Learn Well, What Primary Matters, a national campaign to reframe public education as Australia's most strategic investment. This campaign will build public understanding of the economic and social returns of strong primary schools and mobilise leaders in communities to influence policy reform. We're going to have a clear national narrative, compelling media, and even a year in the life of a principal via Instagram. And it's more than a campaign though, it's a movement to tell the story of primary education loudly, proudly, and with lasting impact. In the lead up to Primary Principal Day, we'll encourage schools to open their doors to showcase the achievements of primary learners and the positive impact of their leadership. Our second driver, grow and develop the profession. Because it's not enough to be recognised, we must also strengthen ourselves. Leadership is demanding, it stretches us, tests us, and can even consume us.
Don't give up. And 10-year-old Matt would say, why would you do that? And the only answer I could give it would be, because it only make number 2 as well. It's a given answer because I'm letting the results dictate my enjoyment of my journey. Trust in the results and enjoy the journey. In 2019, I had what I call my dream team. People didn't think we got on because we didn't communicate during the race. We got on so well we didn't have to. Okay, at the start of the year we had long-range planning conferences. Between races we had goal-oriented meetings. And every morning we would brief on what did we learn from yesterday, what are we going to do today, and every evening we'd debrief on what did we learn from it, what are we going to improve tomorrow. We never said, don't forget to do this. We never said, oh, have you done that? We never ran somewhere. We looked at each other, we nodded. That's all we did. Total confidence in the team to do their job. And if it didn't go well, we didn't get upset at the time. We pushed it to the debrief, discussed what we could have done better. And by having a dream team and relying on my team, we finally became the relay race world champions. I'll skip this video. That was the last race in Japan 2019. It never came back after COVID, which sucked because I'm the world champion of sport that doesn't exist. But on the good note, I'm still the reigning red So, what now? For me, 2020 and 2021 sucked in COVID, like a lot of people. My job fell apart, my company fell apart, my marriage fell apart, and I did make a boat shed. And I've previously been diagnosed with PTSD from war ops, and I felt all that coming back. You know what? We've got to control our own destiny. We can't wait for somebody to throw you a lifeline. You've got to take charge. So I did. I drew a line in the sand. Went, that was my life. I'm now moving forward. And now we're great company. We're Brett on the back line. We're doing experiences. We don't call it joyful life. It's not a joy during the business. We do a lot of display flying. We travel around the world. It's never going to happen. Never say never, because you get to do stuff like this with Brett. I'm not exactly sure of the purpose. It's bloody cool. So, I'm still operating at the sharp end of my business. Okay, I need to go out there. And there's a saying in business, work on the business, not in the business. I am in the business, deep in the business. And for me to be able to do what can be considered risky, I need to have leadership in my team behind me so they can step up to the plate and I can go over the leadership to them while I focus on doing my job. It's a constant journey of learning and a constant journey of development for everybody around me. I'm always trying to bring my team up to a high leadership standard so I can trust in them while I'm doing what I need to focus on. But every leader needs a mentor and a role model. Role models don't need to know that they are. Now, I've got Air Force role models who don't know they're my role model. But when I have the desperate desire to choke the living shit out of somebody, okay, I think, what would Mel do? And it'd be something not choking the living shit out. So I take a lesson from that, go, right, calm down, don't be the arsehole, let's stand there and have a measured response. But you need a mentor as well. And I've got a fantastic mentor. She was the coach for Kathy Freeman and Ian Thorpe, and luckily she was my coach as well. And she just clears my brain. And everyone needs a mentor to go and talk to and go, I'm struggling, and then put what I call my brain back into straight lines again. Stop them being all crisscrossed up. Okay? But the bottom line is, it starts with you being a good leader. Okay? Your objective should be that you are the role model or the mentor for someone. Everybody that works with you should come to work every day and go, geez, I'm so happy to work for this person, and they will literally be the best boss I'll ever have in my life. Imagine that, if that's how people view your work. So aim for it. Be the role model. Follow moral standards, respect, integrity, compassion, and show resilience. So, what are my big lessons from my life? First of all, dream big. I nearly didn't have the life I have because I was told my dreams were silly. Okay, if people tell you your dreams are silly, that's good. That's a good dream. If they go, yeah, so what? It's not big enough. But the key with a dream is do not put a timeline on it. Put a timeline on a dream, it turns into a nightmare.
Said on the sheet like 32. Yeah.
Because it is. And I
thinking about taking it tomorrow. Like, yeah, one time. But good dietary health,
We'll have to have a meal.
Yeah. No, I haven't checked.
And then Wednesday I fly Perth in the morning, and I've got to pump that in, and then it's the Thursday, Friday.
But you have to get to the point of
It's like, yeah, but then they'll go, would it be Saturday then?
It wasn't so well. You reckon? Yeah. You don't
A bit about tech, but as I spoke to our speaker earlier on, I think the message was, look, it's not as scary as you may think, and you don't need to be a world expert. And I think that's great to know. Our next speaker is a multi-award-winning engineer, Winston Churchill Fellow, and data scientist. She works across government, academia, and industry around the world, and keeps up with the latest trends by hosting the Smart Community podcast. She's travelled the globe exploring how technology can make our communities more livable, accessible, and sustainable for all. And she's here to share her insights with you all right now. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Please welcome Zoe Ether.
Thanks so much for having me, everyone. Okay, let's see if I can get the technology to work. That's always the kicker when the technology speaker can't get their slideshow on the screen. Oh, we did it! Success. Thank you. Yes, this is the most impressive thing I will do today. I would like to start with acknowledgement of country. Thank you for having me on this land today. I am from Yarra land up in Queensland, so thank you for having me down here. And I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging as we continue to tell the stories on this land as our First Nation people have for tens of thousands of years. But I'd like to start actually not in Queensland or in Victoria, but I'd like to take you to South Korea. We're going to go back in time as well. So it's October 2016 and I am in South Korea, my favourite of all the Koreas. And I've been sent there to look at all things smart cities, technology, because Korea was actually really ahead of its time. I went to massive construction projects, met all sorts of smart people, PhDs, looked at the latest technology, even experienced a smart toilet. And yes, I did meet a K-pop band. But that wasn't enough for me. I really wanted to drive in an autonomous vehicle. It's 2016, so it's very early on, but I thought it must be possible. Of all places, it must be possible here. So I just kept asking and asking and asking. And they tried to tide me over with an autonomous train, which actually was pretty cool at the time. But it was on tracks, right? Like I wanted one that had 4 wheels and was cruising around on its own. And finally, I get the call up. They say, Zoe, it's ready. And this was just 1 week before I was about to go home. And I was like, oh my God. So I go to the test area. And they tell me all about the technology. They're like, Zoe, it's been designed for a very specific demographic, for a very specific purpose. And we brought the test run forward, and you will be the first person. We'll pause here for a moment. Hi everyone, my name is Zoe Ether, and I grew up in a small country town in Western Queensland called Roma. Anyone know it? Yes? Not famous for tomatoes. That's fake news. But I grew up in Roma, and then I moved to Brisbane to study engineering. So not to become a teacher like my sister, she teaches French and geography, but to become an engineer. And contrary to Matt's view, we are not all